Hey, what's up guys? It's Marv and welcome back to another Asphalt 9 update video. Today we have the patch notes for the Supercharged Summer update, and thankfully I'm not super late to this one this time around. So before I get into it, I want to disclose a couple of things. Firstly, this will be the final update and the last 2 seasons of Asphalt 9 before Asphalt Legends Unite launches. So this is actually quite exciting, and obviously we're not going to get anything too crazy besides some new cars and some other events because the developers are hard at work for Asphalt Legends Unite. And before I get into the new cars, I want to let you guys know that I will have my social media links in the description down below if you want to keep up to date. And of course there will be the Discord server link where you can chat with me, Instagram as well for some cool car photography. And of course, if you want to hear everything new with Asphalt 9 and Asphalt Legends Unite, be sure to subscribe. Alright, so with those out of the way, let's take a look at the first new car, and we got the Lotus ER9, and holy crap does this thing look epic. It looks like something straight out of Speed Racer. I love how crazy this looks, but let's talk about the stats because with a rank of over 4,400, this seems like it will be near the very top of Class B. Immediately, it has really good acceleration, and the top speed of 227 miles per hour without nitro means it's actually quite decent for top speed in B class. So you have very good nitro, very good top speed, and so this is going to be a very potent car. Next up, we have another very high-end car, this time for C-Class. It is the Maserati MC20 GT2. I believe that GT2 name tag is a bit of a mistake, but it should be the MC20 GT2. But either way, it's at a rank of 3,800 in C-Class, which doesn't make it a king, but it will be towards the top of C-Class. And as you can see, nothing too crazy about the stats here, just another very good C-Class car. So I don't think this is going to be the most important car in this update. I think the Lotus might take the crown for that one. But with a top speed of 209 without nitro, so probably around 220 with nitro, it's actually going to be quite decent. Although I think it's really going to depend on if the handling stat is a fake one where it has secretly really good or bad handling depending on how it performs in game. I think that will make or break this car. It has very good acceleration for C-Class, but I'm worried that the other stats might make it a little bit irrelevant, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next up, we have the Legend Pass car for both seasons. This is the successor to the Aston Martin DB11, obviously. As you can see, the number went up 1. It is the Aston Martin DB12, and it's actually ranked in the same class, not too far away from the DB11. So thankfully, this isn't going to be a king or anything like that in case you were worried about the Legend Pass car being a pay-to-win thing. This is right in the middle of B class. And the way that I'm looking at this is like a pretty similar Glickenhaus 003S, or I would say probably better. While the 003S has better acceleration, this car, the DB12, has better stats in every other category. So you can see with the nitro efficiency at almost 78 and a pretty decent top speed of 213 without nitro, I think this is going to be quite good for multiplayer. Not a king like I said, but it's going to be very good for new players because nitro management can be tough with some of those cars that have like 30 or 40 in the stats for nitro. So 77 for nitro is really darn good with pretty decent stats all around as well. So I think this will be pretty good for new players. Moving on to the next car, we have my personal favorite in this update, the McMurtry Spearling, and I'm so disappointed with how the rank and positioning is turning out. But before I go into those details, let me describe what in the world you are actually looking at, because I assume a lot of you may not have heard of this car. So the McMurtry Spearling is a one-seater fully electric car. As you can see, it looks pretty tiny, and that's because it is. You can see it only has room for 1 passenger, but either way, it's a fully electric car, and the whole situation around it is it has a fan that sucks the air from underneath the car to pull the car like a vacuum onto the ground for as much downforce as possible. So as a result, the acceleration of this thing is crazy. I'm pretty sure on YouTube there are videos of this car going from 0 to 60 in under 1 second, which is unbelievable, and that is reflected at least here in the acceleration stat. It has over 90 acceleration, which is absolutely crazy, but unfortunately you can see the overall rank of 3,789 makes it pretty bad in Class A. So this is going to be really good for very short twisty tracks, but it just means that it won't be very versatile for multiplayer or events. I can't imagine this is really going to be that useful, but it will be fun no matter what. So hopefully I will be able to unlock this car because I am very excited for it. Alright, so usually with the last car, I say last but not least, but this time around, the look is definitely not that case, but in terms of the stats, it kind of is the least. A bit underwhelming if I am being honest, but we have the S-Class car for this update. It is the Nissan GT-R Neon Edition, and my god, this thing looks really awesome with the neon lights and the different spoiler and the stance of this car. It looks like it has a bit of a wide body kit going on in the back. I really love how it looks, but unfortunately it is placed, or should I say plopped, at the very beginning of S-Class with a rank of 4,382. And even just looking at it compared to the Tryon Nemesis, it doesn't really look like it's going to be that competitive. It obviously has really great acceleration, handling, and nitro, but that low top speed of only 224 miles an hour is so bad for S-Class. I can't imagine this car being very useful at all once you reach Legend League, unfortunately. And that made me realize I forgot to talk a little bit about the top speed for the McMurtry Spearling. That, if you didn't see in kilometers, but just to change it to miles per hour, is 205, which is why I was talking about how it won't be very versatile. Alright, so taking a look at the new special events for the first part of the season, this will be Supercharged Summer 1, and like I mentioned earlier, the Legend Pass car will be the DB12, but it will be the Legend Pass car for both parts of Supercharged Summer. In terms of special events, we will get the Lotus ER9 with its dedicated special event. There will be a max free try stage of the main car as always, but for the required cars, you'll need the Zonda HP Barchetta, the McLaren F1 LM, and the Scania GTA 2015, the Peugeot 9X8, the Zenvo TSRS, and the brand new Grand Prix car, the Maserati MC20 GT2. We are also finally seeing the return of the Faraday Future FF01. I think they got the understanding that people didn't like its own weird special progression event. It was definitely a little weird, not gonna lie, and I sort of gave up on it when it came around a second time. But either way, this way they are bringing it back in an Unleashed event, so it will be pretty direct if you want to unlock this car. There's also going to be another special hunt. If you didn't remember, this is the event they used for the Ultimate RS, and people really liked it because it was pretty easy to unlock and start up. This time around, it's going to be brought back with the Glickenhaus 007S, so that is the A-Class car with very high acceleration, and so I'm pretty excited for it. The SSC Tuatara special event is also coming back, and I would be very excited about this if it weren't for the fact that the SSC Tuatara is no longer an S-Class Elite. So, besides the fact that this car is probably the coolest looking car ever made besides the Audi TT, you might not really care for the SSC Tuatara in Asphalt 9 anymore. As mentioned earlier, the Maserati MC20 GT2 will be a Grand Prix car, and it will make its debut in the first part of this season, and we will also have another McLaren Speedtail Starway. For those daily time-limited events, we're getting one for the Apex AP0, one for the Porsche 911 GTS Coupe, and that will be within the Coastal Cruising time-limited event. There's also a Dragon Boat time-limited event with the Ferrari F8 Tributo, an Endurance Showdown time-limited event with the Ferrari F50 McLaren GT 4GT. There's also going to be a Summer Solstice time-limited event, no specific cars for that. And of course, the Overclock and Season Showcase time-limited events will be present for both seasons. And for the slew of car and key hunts, we're getting the Zonda HP Barchetta, the Maserati MC12, the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR, and a Tau Design Da Vinci are going to run at the same time, and we are getting the Aston Martin Victor. Alright, so for the special events for the second part of the update for, I guess, the second season, we are getting the Nissan GT-R Neon Edition with its own special event, and the McMurtry Spearling will be unlocked through an Unleashed event, and those will require the McLaren GT, the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera, the Reventon Roadster, and the Apex AP0. So thankfully, not anything too crazy. I'm hoping that I'll be able to spend some tokens to unlock this car, so hopefully we will wait and see how expensive it will be. The Huracan Evo Spider is coming back in its Starway, of course, and the Ferrari 296 GTB Grand Prix will be rerun. Okay, so this next special event was pretty crazy when I saw it for the first time, but there is going to be a My Hero Academia special event within Asphalt 9. It will feature 8 decals and 2 of them will be animated. The first 10 stages will be free try. As you can see, the featured car is going to be the Asphalt Owl. So yeah, I did not expect this for sure, and it's very interesting to see more anime with Asphalt 9, but who knows, maybe the future will even lay some groundwork for some crazier collaborations. Alright, let's just quickly go through the time-limited events. The Formula E car is coming back, of course. The second part for the time-limited event is going to be run in the second season for the Supercharged Summer. There's also going to be an event with Division 1789. The 4th of July will also be run again with the American cars. There's also going to be a Gaming Galore time-limited event and a Lucky Number 7 time-limited event. And in terms of the car and key hunts, we'll get the Glickenhaus 004C, Ferrari Roma, Apex AP0, and Peugeot SR1, and finally the legendary hunt will be for the McLaren Artura. Alright, so again, not anything too crazy considering Asphalt Legends Unite is right around the corner, but I'm very excited for the McMurtry Spearling. I just love the look of that car, and the concept of having a fan sucking down the car to the tarmac. That's just cool, and thankfully it doesn't seem like it'll be too crazy to unlock. But of course, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts about the new cars and events in the comment section down below, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.